In a way, it's kind of like an all-female version of the Avengers. They're a group of talented individuals uniting for a common goal. Except, of course, the Avengers are tasked with saving the world, whereas the bottom Bellas just have to save their dignity. Whoa. That sounded kind of sexist. Trust me, it'll make sense when you see the film. Wait, do you mean that you're actually recommending it already? Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Pitch Perfect was the 2012 musical comedy hit that brought a cappella singing to the fore of pop culture. To me, when I saw it, it felt like the anti-Glee. It had brains, honest laughs, and relatable characters that didn't make you feel like you're watching a soap opera. The musical numbers were also memorable and didn't sound like auto-tuned plastic. And now, almost 3 years later, comes number 2. Which by sequel standards is definitely a far cry from a different kind of number 2. You really can't hide the fact that you like this movie, can you? Does this mean what I think it means? Because for that to happen, yes, it would have to be at least on par with the original. Unfortunately for most sequels, the novelty that warrants calling the original has already worn off. In order to overcome this issue, the story has to be worth telling and it has to be told well. The plot kicks off a couple of years after the first film and the Barton Bellas are more successful than ever. However, surely enough, the inevitable complication arises. From here, the audience is very aware of the fact that the stakes have been well and truly raised. This fact is one of the reasons why the film works so well. Although the film's ending might be fairly predictable from the onset. They all die. The degree to which the stakes have been raised helps create enough tension for the audience to use the front of their seats. In addition to the stress of the main complication, individual protagonists have dilemmas of their own to face. Aside from the prominent new addition to the cast, these problems are a natural extension to the first film. As these reviews are devoid of spoilers, all I'm going to say is that these situations are not bogged down in empty sentiment and are treated with the right amount of humour. As for the new girl, played by Oscar nominee Hailee Steinfeld, her story arc is perhaps the most sentimental, but she's a welcome addition all the same. Now that's the boring stuff out of the way. Truth be told, we're here for the laughs and the sweet tunes. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being urine control affecting, how funny was it? Well, other me, it's hard to say. My judgment was probably a little clouded by the enthusiasm of the 95% female audience I saw it with. The theatre was packed and it was clear that not one member of the audience didn't want to be there. So you could say that it was a very positive atmosphere conducive to all sorts of laughter. On top of that, given that it was a preview screening, it was the sort of audience that applauded at the end, despite the fact that there was probably no one involved actually in the room. That said, the audience did laugh at the right moments. And there were a lot of right moments spread throughout this film. Director Elizabeth Banks has a great eye and ear for comic timing, and it really shows here. The group dynamics are given a natural flow and rhythm, and the lines are delivered at just the right moment in the right intonation to make it feel seamless and improvised in the best possible way. Also adding humour to the proceedings are the inclusion of unexpectedly amusing cameo performances that, rather than simply banking on the mere inclusion of a big name, actually have an effect on the plot. In fact, most of the humour is an extension of the plot itself and the way the characters react to one another as they react to changing events. So the laughs are never forced or artificial, and there's certainly more hit than miss. Let's face it, Pitch Perfect 2 is a very funny movie. And now, for Pitch Perfect to live up to its name. I'm sure you're wondering what the musical numbers are like this time around. I certainly am. I wasn't talking to you. Why aren't you wearing your jacket? I got hot, okay? We see it doesn't work now. We both look exactly identical. Happy? Much better. Well, we have another satisfying number of numbers that doesn't skimp on quantity or quality. The covers of all sorts of well-known songs are handled creatively and entertainingly as you would hope for and expect. Okay, I can't take any more suspense. Was it what I think you think it was? Well, my friend, you're in luck. You may remember I started my review comparing this film to The Avengers, the only film this year so far to have received my highest rating. And indeed, I feel no shame in saying that Pitch Perfect 2 was an amazing experience. At this stage, you're probably wondering if I'll ever give a negative review. Well, I just appreciate things the way I do. I sincerely hope that for your sake, something will come along to sacrifice my viewing pleasure for your benefit. Wait, that's not nice. You horrible people.
Snap out of it.
You're right. It's been a long day. In any case, I hope 2015 cinema keeps bringing the goods. As for my review, please like and leave a comment in the comment section below.